everyone, for our lesson today, I would recommend that you have a piece of paper and a pencil to make some notes as we go through. If you haven't got those in front of you now, pause the video and go and grab them quickly. Okay, so just to recap on our writer's toolkit, for our biography, the things that we need to include, what's in our toolkit, we need to convey the facts. We need to be clear and concise and indicate that we are sure about the fact that we're writing about. We need to create cohesion. We want to use varied sentence openers, fronted adverbials, time adverbials, and we're going to be writing our first paragraph today. You want to engage with your reader. You want to encourage them to form an opinion. You kind of want them to have a similar opinion to you by the end of the piece of writing. So you're going to use your subtle opinion and draw inference from the information you have about Charles Darwin. And you're going to be writing in an impersonal and informative style. So using the third person, using those fronted adverbials, and using the passive voice. So your introduction. The introduction to your biography is really important. This is the part of the biography that makes the reader want to read on. So you need to catch their attention. So we're going to think about 5 things that we're going to include in our introduction. Who is the person? What's their name? Why are they famous? What are they famous for? What's Charles Darwin famous for? When did this happen? Where did it happen? And why are they famous today? So pause the video for a moment and note down those 5 key things that you already know about Charles Darwin. Okay, so if we look back at the introductions for William Shakespeare and Roald Dahl, William Shakespeare is considered the greatest writer of the Elizabethan age. That's our when, that's our who. Although he was best known for his plays, he has also written over 100 sonnets and numerous poems. That's our what. Shakespeare is also responsible for introducing many new phrases into the English language. This is the life of William Shakespeare. Well, introducing the phrases into the English language, that also gives us our where, and it tells us why he's still important today. If we look at Roald Dahl, a spy, an ace fighter pilot, a chocolate historian, and a medical inventor, Roald Dahl lived a fascinating life. He was an author of a treasure of original, evergreen, and beloved children's books, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, and the BFG. He remains for many the world's #1 storyteller. Tells us who he was, what he did, and why he's still famous today. There isn't as much detail in the life of Roald Dahl. It doesn't tell us where, and it also doesn't tell us when. So think about including those 2 things in your introduction. So how could you sum up Charles Darwin in just a couple of sentences? So someone's just come up to you and said, who on earth was Charles Darwin? Pause the video, jot down a couple of things you know about who he was. Okay, we're going to use that information to create an introduction for our biography. So we've got some sentence starters here to introduce him. So these would be our first sentence. Charles Robert Darwin was. Well, we know he was a naturalist, don't we? You might say he was the founder of evolution. Charles Darwin was a naturalist who discovered the theory of evolution. Born in, I think it was 1809, the year he was born, Charles Darwin, what did he do? Known for being a naturalist, Charles Darwin, what did he do? And Charles Darwin is considered, now this last sentence, this is where you could include your subtle use of opinion. Charles Darwin is considered one of the greatest scientists in history. Why? What did he do? Go on to tell your reader what he did and why, in your opinion, he might be one of the greatest scientists in history. What do you want to say about him? What's he best known for? What do many people agree? What has he had? This last one, again, how our subtle opinion is coming in. Clearly, Darwin has had a fascinating life. He got to go on the HMS Beagle for 5 years, travelled around Africa, South America, the Galapagos Islands. He probably did have quite a fascinating life. But again, that's your subtle opinion, encouraging your reader to read on. That has to be intertwined with your facts. So clearly, Charles Darwin has had a fascinating life following his discovery of what? So you know these facts. So your task today, you can either type it onto the sheet that is uploaded or handwrite it, take a clear photograph and send it to me. These are some of the sentence starters you can use to help you write your introduction.